Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Basma. I'm going to be doing a little video on some of the things I've learned with just having diabetes for 18 years. I recently celebrated my diaversary, which is basically my diabetic anniversary, on September 9th. And so I've had diabetes for 18 years now. I was diagnosed when I was 3 years old, and I am currently 21, so it's been a very long time, and I'm just excited to kind of have a real conversation and just share the things that I've learned, things that I've been through, and this is definitely going to be more of an uplifting video, but also kind of just reflecting back, and I like to kind of do these on my own every year, whether I do it like written style. That's usually how I do it. I like to write out, you know, things that just things that have happened while having diabetes, or things that I've really been able to learn from. And I think it's a great way to stay positive. It's a great way to stay motivated for the future, and also just kind of see everything that you've been through like on paper. But I'm super excited to do it on video for you guys, so let's get started. If you don't know how I got diagnosed, kind of just a very quick rundown of my diagnosis story of showing all the regular symptoms: excessive thirst, peeing like literally every 3 seconds, super pale, lethargic, no energy, and losing a ton of weight. As a 3-year-old, you're already pretty tiny, and I lost a ton of weight, so my parents knew that something was up, especially since I didn't want to run around and play anymore. And yeah, sparing the sad or traumatic details, obviously we all knew that I had type 1 diabetes, and so it's been a battle since. And when I was little, obviously I did not want to take shots, and it was just an adjustment. It was an adjustment for my parents, and it was just an adjustment for me. And I'm thankful for my parents because they took on the brunt of this disease and they learned about everything. And thankfully my mom has a background in nutrition and child psychology and that kind of stuff, and carb counting, so she was able to already have a basis of knowledge on how to tackle this. And you know, she just kept on learning and kept on bettering our whole family and making changes, and I've never felt different. You know, I've been able to, when it comes to my family and really close friends, you know, I'm able to eat the same things because my family has made sure that they've also adapted a way of eating that you know, is positive for me, especially when I was younger. Now as I'm older, you know, I'm not affected if my best friend wants to have a huge cheeseburger and I'm just not in the mood because I know my blood sugar isn't in the right range for me, then I just won't have a cheeseburger, but I don't feel bad because of it, and I don't resent anyone because of that. And I think a lot of that has come by just learning at a young age that people are going to eat different things, and you know, I can have anything I want, but sometimes I'm going to choose to forego that or not have it. Maybe it's not the right time, and that's okay, and not to blame anyone else for that. So I also want to just say that, and I want to start this off early in the video, is a lot of people ask me whether I'd take diabetes back. If I could go back in the past, would I choose to not have diabetes? And you know, obviously anybody would say no, like yeah, of course I totally would go back, but I wouldn't. And obviously I want a cure, and I hope that in my lifetime I get to see one, and I hope that everybody that has diabetes now can get that cure once it comes out, and we can prevent diabetes from ever happening again to anybody else. But I would not go back and change the fact that I had diabetes. I would gladly take a cure, but I would not go back and change the experiences and the opportunities and the people that I've been able to meet. I've been able to do amazing things. I advocate, I've traveled the country, I give speeches, and I feel like I really have an impact on people's lives, and by teaching them and sharing my own stories and lessons with them, and would not have been able to get that had it not been for my diagnosis. And I have met so many amazing people, some of my best friends, whether they live in the same state as me or not, that doesn't matter. It's that they're always a text away and a phone call away and a group chat away, and it's an amazing feeling to be involved in such a community that is so empowering and so present for one another, and I wouldn't change that for the world. So yeah, I wouldn't take back my diagnosis, and I think it's been able to give me a very, very strong backbone. I'm stronger because of it, and I'm the person I am because of it. And the lessons that I've learned, you know, diabetes, I know there's a lot of stereotypes and misconceptions, and you know, usually the first thing people say is like, oh my gosh, I would never be able to do that if I were you. And the point of the being is that you would, because there's no other choice. And whether you wish to view that as a good thing or a bad thing really is up to you at the end of the day. I think that, you know, the past is the past, and you have this diagnosis, and I think acceptance is number one, and just being able to live with it, because you are going to have to live with it for the rest of your life. So why not make it into a positive and empowering thing that you can use to help other people and to help yourself and to impact another person's life. And if there's one life that I can impact somehow in my entire lifetime, then I've done my job as an advocate and as just a human being. So diabetes has taught me to enjoy life, to, you know, really live in the moment, cherish the moment, and to not judge others by their cover. You don't know what someone is going through, you don't know what their story is, you don't know what they have endured, and you don't know what they have. Everybody has something, whether that be a you know, whether that's physical, mental, psychological, it doesn't matter. We all have our flaws. We all have something that affects us on a deeper level, and you can never say that somebody lives a perfect life or somebody doesn't have any problems, like, too bad, woohoo, because you just don't know what they're going through. And to make that assumption is unfair and it's biased, and we just shouldn't do that. And I think that's a lesson that anybody and everybody should take. I think another thing that people ask me is how over time has it gotten easier. And if there is one thing that I could say, it's that it doesn't necessarily get easier as in like, oh, my diabetes is just so much easier to handle or manage. It gets easier in the fact that you know how to prepare. Situations that used to scare you, like going low in public or whatever it might be for that individual, is no longer scary, because you are better equipped, you are better prepared, and you know how to handle that emotionally and physically. And a lot of diabetes is mental, it's emotional, it is being able to stay calm on the inside even though everything else is kind of just unraveling, or you know, you're going too high or you're going too low and you don't have any sugar on you at the moment. It's that those kinds of moments teach you that being able to stay calm and stress-free is super important, because it affects your whole body. Stress is so big, and I say this in talks that I have with kids and teens, and stress is huge, no matter what age you are. And you should learn how to overcome that. You should learn how to manage your stress. And this is whether you have diabetes or you don't have diabetes. Stress is going to affect you. Stress is part of our everyday lives. And your blood sugars are affected by every single thing. Like, there is no such thing that doesn't affect our blood sugars. And so stress is going to be a huge one. And I think that self-talk, just pep yourself up. Be like, I can do this, I got this. Deep breaths, exercise, just going out and taking, some fresh air. It all makes a difference. Dancing in your room for 5 minutes, drinking lots of water. There's so many things that I myself do, and all of these that I listed, I do, because it helps me regain my momentum. It helps me get back into that moment where I realize, okay, my blood sugar might be going up right now. I don't know why. I've given insulin, but you know what? It's probably stress. My subconscious is telling me something, and so I need to take a moment for myself and do myself a favor and just breathe. I need to get up and dance, listen to my favorite song and dance, and drink some water. And most of the time, my blood sugar will go down. It'll start coming down. And that's just really to show that your mental ability to focus yourself and recenter yourself is so crucial, and especially in diabetes. So I've definitely learned that. Diabetes has also really taught me that having a community and having a support group, no matter what that support group is, for me, it is my family. My family is my #1 support group, and then my best friends. And I like to say my T1D friends, my Diet Girl gang. Those are my close friends who have type 1 diabetes, and they're only a text away or a call away, and I can text them about a low or a high and just vent, and they get it. They're there to listen. They pep you up. Those are your people who understand what you go through every day. Your family, you know, they're there to they're there to lend you their shoulder to lean on when you're just frustrated and you just need somebody to be there, and you don't need anybody to like, oh, I understand, this is what I do. You just need someone to talk. And then I have my non-T1D friends who are amazing and are sometimes annoying, but are really, really amazing, and they ask questions and they're curious because they don't understand what is going on. And that's honestly, if I can say one thing, is that I love it when people ask questions. I love it when people are curious and they want to learn more and they want to know what they can do to be better, you know, have better awareness. When people just make assumptions that, you know, really annoys us, and the jokes and the, oh, well, you're gonna have that candy, good luck, you're gonna get diabetes, and it's those kinds of ignorant things that are frustrating. And we do get frustrated because there are so many stereotypes about diabetes, and a lot of the confusion comes behind type 1 diabetes versus type 2 diabetes, and just the lifestyles, and oh, you don't look like you have diabetes, which, you know, nobody looks like they have anything, and why would you say that to somebody? So I think it's super important to just keep in mind that we're all humans and we all have feelings, and it's so crucial to have those people behind you and at your side that you can lean on and just laugh about the annoying times and the frustrating times and the happy times, and, you know, this funny pun, but you know, you are gonna have highs and lows, just like your blood sugars. There are gonna be moments where you are like, okay, I get it, I finally get it, like it's all clicked, I have my shit together, like my blood sugars are finally in range, this and that. And then there's gonna be moments where you're like, I literally don't know what's going on, I'm doing everything that I think is right, but something is not adding up, and that's life. And with diabetes, I've also learned that I will never ever be a complete expert. I know my body best, and I know certain things that I've learned about my body by now, that are kind of like set in stone almost, but I also don't know a lot of things, and I learn along the way every single time. I see how certain things affect me. I see how certain foods affect me, certain activities, whatever it may be. I am learning along the way that I don't know everything, and that's okay, because I get to take that step by step, and then I'm better off for the future. And you know, that's a lot of things like exercise and knowing what kind of, you know, whether cardio brings me down and weightlifting brings me up, and what I can do to combat that, and you know, what stress does to me and how I can better, you know, level off that stress and how I can overcome that, and you know, certain things like that. And even simple things like what kind of foods I react to better when I'm low that bring my blood sugar up, versus what kind of foods I kind of have to really stay away from unless, you know, I'm like super low and I like want it as a treat, or I just give a lot of insulin for it. And I think that kind of learning encourages me to help others more, because although all of our bodies are different, we feed off of each other. And the one thing that I've learned this past year alone is that that community is bigger and more present than I ever thought it was, especially on social media. And social media is a very interesting thing. It's you know, you think about social media and you think about Insta models and influencers and all that kind of stuff, you know, the usual. There's so much more to see, and when it comes to diabetes, there is a huge community who are ready and there to rally for you and with you. And I finally found that on Instagram, and I've met so many amazing girls and guys who are so kind, and are super just amazing at helping others as well. And social media, especially Instagram, has really allowed me to reach out to more people. And you know, I'm not huge, I wouldn't say my presence is huge, but I've never done it for the followers, and I never will do it for the followers. I do it for the fact that if I can reach one person and make someone smile, and if I can elicit someone to feel happy and not feel alone. This disease is lonely enough as it is, and you don't need to isolate yourself anymore. I don't think that's fair for anyone. And so social media, if that allows me to reach out to somebody who might live across the world from me but suddenly feel so close to me and as if they know me, then I've done my job as an advocate. I've done my job as a human being, and that makes me the happiest that I could be. Diabetes has taught me that I want to spend the rest of my life helping others. Whether that is, you know, through certain things that I love, like advocating and blogging and writing and speaking, whether that is through medicine, whether that is through anything. I want to be there for others when they're their lowest and when they're their highest. No pun intended. But diabetes has obviously taught me a lot. 18 years is a lot of finger pricks, a lot of calibrations, a lot of pump changes and syringes, a lot of glucose tabs and Skittles and apple juice. It's a lot of lots, and it has made me a better person and a better friend and a better woman and a better daughter and just a better human being. And I'm so glad and so thankful that I get to share my passion through helping others and my passion of advocacy and allowing others to learn from things that I've learned. I think that that is the biggest gift that diabetes has given me. Been able to do amazing things. I love going to Congress. I've been there twice. I've spoken in front of congressmen and women who make the real decisions about these things that we see in the news. And to be able to tell them my story and why we should make insulin more affordable and why there should be better transparency and all of these things is because they can't close a pamphlet, they can't turn off the TV when they see something about diabetes, is I'm right in front of them, and whether they like it or not, I'm there to tell my story, and I'm gonna share it damn well. Your diabetes is not trying to fight against you. Your diabetes is just as confused as you are. It is just as perplexed. It is trying to figure its way out, and we need to join together and work together with our diabetes, because it's gonna be there for the rest of our lives until we find a cure one day. And until then, we should do our best. We want to live healthy, long lives. And so, you know, just staying positive, having a great mental outlook. It can be hard when, you know, stuff gets tough, but it's also very, very important. But I hope I was able to inspire some of you guys, educate some of you guys, make someone smile or laugh. I think that is the greatest gift that I can give, and that is what I aim to do in every single video, whether it's diabetes related or not. I guess this is a great place to just say that I don't want every video to be diabetes related, because I really want to attract every audience, whether you have type 1 diabetes or you don't have type 1 diabetes, you know someone who does or you know someone who doesn't. Like, it doesn't matter. I want to be able to connect with everyone who comes and visits my channel, and I hope to do that one video at a time. Whether you don't have diabetes, and if I was able to teach you something that's new, that makes me even happier, because advocacy is real. Advocacy is a change that we want to see in the world, so we must be a part of the change we want to see in the world. And advocacy is teaching others who also don't know anything about this disease what it is like to live with it, what they need to know, so that they can also be proponents of the change. If we don't educate anyone and the stereotypes and the misconceptions keep on spreading, then we are doing ourselves no good, and we are only harming ourselves more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will go from type 1 to type 9. So please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a beautiful day, guys.